Hello, hello, hello. Man, I'm blending into the background here, huh? I got the all black on, but welcome, guys. We're here with a moment with honesty. And I decided to go for my page today to shake it up a little bit. But we kind of had the quote, my wife loves this quote by Marianne Williamson. And basically, she speaks about we're not afraid of being of our darkness, we're afraid of our light and what we can become. And I want to talk a little bit about self image today. And I'm going to let my wife kind of step in and share her little
Yeah,
story.
I
So,
just wanted to share this story, and I've shared this story before. And it's a little embarrassing, but it's the truth, right? This is real life. So, the probably like the first year we were married,
mhm.
my husband, he's a chiropractor, he had a practice, and he opened it up, and he was doing really well his first year. And so for Christmas, he bought me a Louis Vuitton like purse handbag, and I had never had like a handbag like that before, So I was so excited, and he was so, excited to give it to me. So I opened it up, and I got it. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I sat it in my closet and I wouldn't wear it. And it really kind of bothered him a little bit because he worked really hard and he bought me this beautiful purse and I wouldn't wear it. And I was uncomfortable. Wasn't quite understanding why I didn't want to wear it, but I just knew it made me feel uncomfortable. And it wasn't until later on, you get older, you get wiser, and that I read like Marianne Williamson, and I started reading her, and she read that quote, it's not your darkness you're afraid of, it's your light. And I love it. And it says, playing small does not serve the world, and shrinking so that others around you don't feel insecure is not enlightening. I know I probably messed it up, but that's okay. But you get the gist of it, right? And it took me a long time to realize because I was so worried about what other people around me were feeling and thinking that I wasn't, I didn't want to shine. I didn't want to stand out in the crowd. You know what I mean? And I felt that bag. If I put it on, I was going to stand out. And I didn't want to do that at that point. And I think, and I just want to share this real quick, just make this big point. And then it is this, that I truly believe as a Christian that we're all children of God, right? And so I believe that we all have greatness within us. Like, and how that finally clicked for me is when I thought, okay, this sounds really silly, but when God was creating all of us, he wasn't like, okay, this group right here, I'm going to make special. And this group over here, I'm not going to make special. Like he wouldn't do that, right? You wouldn't do that to your children. You wouldn't be like, okay, these are my special ones. These aren't. And now I know we're all not born, in the same circumstances. Some people are born in countries where they don't have the same freedoms we do, and households that aren't, right, dysfunctional. But I truly believe that he gave us all the same greatness inside of us.
Absolutely. I mean, don't ask for the world to get easier, pray to get better. And, if you simply break these things down, in Genesis, God spoke and it was existence. Well, before we speak, we have to think. And as you think, you create. And if we're made in the image of God, then what is that father? I ask myself, what does my dad want for me? Well, only the best. What does our Heavenly Father want for us? And when you break the word desire down, I used to think the picture was burning in hell. Like, you know what I mean? Like you were excited, you were on fire. And desire, day in Latin means from or of. Sire's father, from the Father. And universal, it's so comical. Science now defines what religion has been teaching. And I don't want to say religion, but the Bible's been teaching for thousands of years. Uni in Latin means one. Inverse means voice. One voice, God's. And when you start to realize that God is the supply, we are to demand. And so in James, it says, you have not, for you ask not. And what happens with people is they don't know what they want, which is exactly why they don't get what they want, because they don't know. They say things like, I don't want this, I don't want that, or I don't want people to look at me like this. And what's so funny when you really assess it, the people that make the changes in the world are considered to be crazy. Like people thought Henry Ford was insane to make automobiles available to everybody. If I asked the public what they wanted, they would have said faster horses because that's all they knew. The trailblazers, right? They're the ones who see it and they become it and then the world experiences it. It starts in the mind first. As Van Gogh said, I dream my painting, I paint my dream. You have to see it before you can achieve it. And most people won't hold the picture to do that. So quit worrying about what people think because
No.
they're not thinking. Like, listen to what
And they're
people
not
say.
worried about what you're doing. People are so worried about what's going on in their life. They're really not paying
No.
attention to you.
Listen to what they say.
I
It's
know.
comical. Like,
I like you think everybody's watching you and paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to you except for you.
no, at all. Nobody cares more about you than you.
No.
And if you think somebody else's grass is greener, somebody's taking better care of the grass, right? Take care of the grass of what you have. You know, I'll leave you with this today. As my mentor Bob says, he goes, people are looking through the keyhole to get their wealth. Open the doors and the windows. And so I'm reading a book and they talked about the conquistadors and back in the 1500s, and they were traveling the world looking for gold. And as they were looking for this gold, what they found is they found potatoes. They take the potatoes back to Europe, and all the botanists said, oh my God, those are nightshades. Don't eat those. It'll kill you. Well, what they found is that the sprouts and the greens were poisonous, but the potato wasn't. And you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? Well, here's what happened. It took 20, 50 years, 100 years before they started eating potatoes. And then all of a sudden there were potato famines back in the 1700s, and all the Irish started coming over to America. Do you know today that one year's crop of potatoes outweighs all the gold in the Western Hemisphere?
I love a potato.
Yeah, me too. Right? Potato.
Any way you cook it, I like
Right.
a potato.
You do. You like the fries, right? But my point is, and I do too, baby. I like some fries there. But the point is this: just because you're looking for one thing doesn't mean it's more or less. It's where you put the emphasis. What are you looking for? Are you studying? Are you becoming aware? Like she said, don't worry about people say, because they ain't thinking in the first place. So
Yeah. That's
but
funny. Potatoes are worth more than gold because right now I'm on doing a low carb diet. So I haven't had potatoes in a few weeks. And let me tell you, I would pay.
you would pay a lot of money for
some
potatoes,
French
right?
fries right now.
Hey, you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. If this makes sense, share this information. There's always people out there who need to hear this. The blessing is the curse. The curse is a blessing. There's always a flip side. So if you're looking for what's wrong, you'll find it. If you're looking for what's right, you'll find that too. So God bless you and have a blessed day.
Bye.